In this lecture, we will start example 6.2 and let me read the statement of example 6.2. This says that consider a three-dimensional infinite cubical well. This is a three-dimensional cubical well and this is of side A. So, it is said that it is an infinite cubical well. So when we are in the range that v of x, y, z, v of x, y, and z, this is equal to 0. F x is between 0 and a, y is between 0 and a, and z is between 0 and a. So the potential is equal to 0. Means inside this cubical well, the potential is 0, while outside of this well, as it is infinite potential well, so this is equal to infinity. There is infinite potential outside of this cubical well. So we have the potential here, and then let me write that this is example 6.2 as per second edition of the Griffiths. So we have the stationary state we have already found for this in the problem in chapter 2 probably. We have found the states of this. So the ground state here, the stationary state that we have, psi 0, and here I am writing the indices nx, ny, and nz, and this is a function of x, y, and z, and this is equal to 2 over a part 3 over 2 and sine nx pi over a and x, similarly sine ny and pi over a, and this is y here, and sine n z pi over a, and here we have z, where nx, ny, and nz are the positive integers. Means is in a two-dimensional potential well, we have the 2 over a square root and then sine n pi x over a. So this is a three-dimensional, so that's why we are having this. And further, and this state shares energy, which is the ground state energy E0, and here is nx, ny, and nz, and this is equal to n squared, means pi square h bar square over 2ma square, and then the indices here, nx square plus ny square plus nz squared. This is the ground state energy of this cubical well. And now the question is that what are the energies of ground and first excited state? The first question, that what are the energies of ground state, ground and first excited states. What are the energies of the ground state in the first excited state? And the next question is that what about the ground state energy, whether it is degenerate or it is non-degenerate? And what about the first excited state, whether the energy is a degenerate or non-degenerate? So first consider the ground state energy. And in the ground state energy, when I consider the ground state energy E, now the ground state means what will be the least value of n. We know that the least value of n is 1, it is not 0. So the ground state when nx, ny and nz are all 1, then we will have the ground state energy is E111. And then this E111 will come out to be 1 square, 1 square, 1 square. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. So it will be 3 and pi square h bar square over 2ma squared. Now this state, the ground state, is basically non-degenerate, because this state is, if I shuffle this one with this one or this with this one, then there is no effect on the energy. These, they are all the same. So that's the reason that the ground state energy is non-degenerate. It is only level is 1 and the energy comes out to be 1 only, and that's the reason that it is a non-degenerate. What about the first excited state? So for the first excited state, means how we will get the first excited state. We know that we have the value of nx, the value of ny and the value of nz. Any of them, if we change, like here, this I make 1 and this 1. So nx and ny are in the ground state, but if I make this one 2, then it is in excited state. So this will possess energy E112, and this is the first excited state. Similarly, is here, if I put 1, 1 and 2 here, so I will get the energy E112, E112. This will be equal 1 square plus 1 square plus 2 square. So 2 square is 4, 4, 5, 6. And 6 when comes here, then 6, 2 are simplified, and we have 3 pi square h bar square and ma squared. So we got the first excited state energy equal to this, and now this is also an excited state. If I make these nx and nz as 1 and I make ny equal to, so this is again an excited state, and it is sharing, the energy will be 1 to 1. And what about 1 to 1? If I write 1 to 1 here, then it will be the same, means 1, 1 and then 4 here. So of the same energy, it will be equal to this. So this means that if I means E112 is equal to E121, and similarly, if I make this one 2 and this one and this one, so I will have E211, and then E211 is also in excited state. So this is means here E112, this is the first excited, all are the first excited. So this is one state basically, and this one state then having the energy equal to be the same, means the same energy all the three states are sharing. So it means that this state, the first excited state, is a degenerate state, and degenerate means that it is sharing the same energy. The states are different because this I112 is having a wave function I112, this I121, and this I211. So the states are different. Different states sharing the same energy, we call them degenerate state, and the first excited state here with us is basically triply degenerate. It's triply degenerate, or it's a triplet state. Single state, different state sharing the same energy, they are called degenerate states, and the state under discussion is basically a degenerate state. Now, if I want this one, I see that they are sharing the same energy, and we know that when they are sharing the same energy and states are different. So how to get this thing? I usually give an example, like for example, that we are having a thread, and let's say that the thread just seems is one thread, and it is made of, for example, three different threads, and let's say the color of those thread is the same, white for example. So it will just seem as one, but when we apply some perturbation, and perturbation will cause, like we twist the thread in one or the other direction, then we see that the thread splits into three more threads, and that means we have actually applied that perturbation, and this is the way to check that the degenerate states, the states basically, with the help of perturbation, we can split them. So if in this cubical well, if I apply a perturbation, and the perturbation is such that on the x-axis I go halfway, and on the y-axis I go halfway, so here, and on the z-axis I go in full. So on x from 0 to this, so here, and this goes this way. So we have the thing here, okay, and here this is like this, so this one, and then we have this and this one here. So we have applied some perturbation on this, okay, and this is the perturbation that we have applied. Now this one, this x is AO2 here, y is AO2 here, and then z is A. This is along z, this perturbation goes is A. So we have applied a certain perturbation, and this perturbation is H prime, which is equal, that this perturbation is equal to V naught. Earlier, our perturbation means inside the cubical well, we were having no potential, inside the cubical well. Outside of the cubical well, we were having infinite potential. Now inside the cubical well, we are having now potential V naught. And what are the limits of this potential? When x is between a over 2 and 0, y is between a over 2 and 0, and z is between 0 and a. Along z we are having the potential from 0 to a, and this potential is 0 otherwise. Means out of this region we are having zero potential inside this cubical well. So H prime is the perturbation we have introduced. Now what this perturbation will do, because we are having the ground state energy, then when it goes into the first excited state, then what will happen? That the energy will splits into three states, and all the states are having the same energy. So we will basically, with the help of this perturbation, this is like a twisting a thread, we will split these energy levels, and we will see that the perturbation is doing something to the state and to the energies.